But nobody in here thinks it's okay if you're honest most of the time, right? If you lie to me once, I don't know when you're going to lie to me again. Trust in business is what lubricates everything. Values are the basis of all relationships, right? So what I find is when people start realizing some of the things that work in their work life, it also works in their personal life. That everything we do is predicated on how much trust there is. And when there's a lot of trust, things move quickly. And when there's a little bit of trust, things don't move as quickly. And when there's no trust, things stop. Covey says there are two things you need to have trust. You need to have character. So I need to know that what you're doing is in my best interest. But that's not enough. You also have to have competence.
Hi, I'm John DiNapoli. I'm a retired Brigadier General from the US Army. And about 4 years ago, started a consulting firm focusing on leadership training, development, executive coaching, and some keynote speaking. I do that because I have a passion about leadership.
When you lead by agreement, it's about people coming together and setting expectations and understanding what it is you expect of me. And that happens in every environment. Think about when you first started, if you're married or your first person that you ever dated, kind of make an agreement. I'll meet you at this time, or I'll pick you up at this time, or I'll give you a call. And first time you make that agreement, a little skepticism. And then you deliver on your promise. People start thinking, well, that's good, let's try it again. And then you deliver on your promise again. And people start thinking, well, you know, when John makes an agreement, he actually shows up and does it. You don't really have to think about it. When we make an agreement together, you understand that I'm good to my word and that I only make agreements that I intend to keep. So if you're going to break an agreement that you've made, as soon as you know you have to break it, you need to let that person know. You're not going to build a trusting relationship overnight. It takes making sure that you're good to your word. Now, I am not a big connoisseur of crystal, but if you're an artisan at Wedgwood, you may work on one or two patterns your entire career. Apparently, the way you find out that something really is Wedgwood is they etch their initials in the bottom. And they're great. But sometimes you could put so much pressure on that it's gone. In a moment, with all that work, you can destroy it. And trust can be like that. You could put so much pressure on it that you could destroy it. Now, this whole piece stayed together. I could probably get some super glue, fashion some kind of a glass that might even hold liquid, right? But it would never be the same work of art that you had when it was first made. And that's the way trust can be. If I devastate the relationship, if it's something that's really important and I destroy it, it may never be able to get back to that level. Guard your reputation for trust and honesty like it is your most important possession. Because as a leader, it is. People are not going to take chances if you've made it clear that they're not allowed to fail. We see that a lot. But sometimes we put a group together, we give them clear instruction that seem pretty simple, and then they can't do it. Well, maybe we didn't give them the tools to do it. If you want to build a relationship or you want to build a culture of not trusting, that's a great way to do it. Because all you're doing is frustrating people. When people come to you and they have issues, if you want to build trust, you really only have three options to respond to those issues. Either, yes, it's a real issue, but it's not something that I have any control over or any influence over. There are those issues that are just out of our reach, right? We can't do anything with them. Or maybe it's not even really an issue. They both get the same response. There's not really anything I can do for that. Or maybe it's something that I have no control over, but I have influence over. So I can't fix it, but I agree it's something we should try to fix, and I will raise it up to the next level. I can't guarantee it's going to happen, but I'll fight the good fight. Here's where we run into trouble. If you're going to fight the good fight, then you better be committed. Because as we talked about, only make agreements you intend to keep. Nothing will undermine trust quicker than you have somebody that works for you and they think you're fighting the good fight for them, but you're really not. You know, I'll go talk to the boss about that. You're right, it's not really a big issue. Then he finds out that you're not talking to the boss about it. Now you got a problem, right? If you don't agree it's something that needs to get fixed, then have the integrity, the managerial courage to say, that's not something that I'm going to take up the chain. It's not worth fighting. But they're the only three responses. Either I can fix it, yep, it's mine. Can't fix it, but I can influence it, or I can't help you there. I had this terrible habit of multitasking. People used to come into my office when I was a colonel, and I'd be on the computer reading email, and you try to talk to them, but you have to get this email out to, and unfortunately, sometimes you feel like I recognized it too late. It's just really easy to do, and you have to stop being distracted. Otherwise, you're going to end up taking a withdrawal from your trust accounts that are too big for you to handle. You'll end up like my glass here. Thank you.
Someone that's in charge can always get compliance. They can use their position, their title, and people have to comply. But if you want commitment, that takes a leader. And I don't care if you're in the military, in the corporate world, if you're in a nonprofit, people follow those that they trust and believe in. And if you want commitment, you need to have leadership.